And this week we got a 15 years expert in sensor fusion that bet everything on Tesla's vision. So this article is highly recommended to read, but here is a little breakdown of why this deep dive just ended the sensor fusion debate. This ADAS expert, Genma JP on X, who dropped a comprehensive long-term piece outlining 14 distinctive advantages Tesla gains by sticking to pure vision only, no LiDAR, no radar crutches, just camera and massive end-to-end neural nets. The central thesis flips the script on the old more sensors equal more safety and redundancy narrative. Sensor fusion create dependencies, not true backups. Every extra sensor brings its own blind spot, whether failure, calibration drift, latency hits, integration complexity. The system inevitably leans hardest on the one modality that's strongest anyway, and that's vision, while the rest add cost, bloat, and failure modes. So here is some of the key highlights from the 14 points he writes about. So drastically lower hardware cost at scale. Like we talked about many times, no 1,000 per vehicle's LiDAR units, simpler architecture, fewer parts, easier manufacturing, no endless sensor collaboration war, and raw data straight to the neural net, bypassing traditional image signal processors so that AI learns to handle lighting, weather, and noise dynamically, far superior to fixed hardware processing. Unmatched fleet data scale and uniformity, billions of miles from identical cameras set up across the world. True end-to-end learning without multi-sensor fusion pipelines that fragment gradients and slow process. No relying on expensive HD mapping or LiDAR point clouds that trap systems in mapped areas and kills generalization. Better physics of a failure. Adding mismatch sensors often reduce effective coverage due to the conflicting signal and trust issues in the stack. Compute and simulation advantages. Tesla's vertical integration let them simulate AI chips a bit exactly in data centers, something Toolkit provides like NVIDIA can't fully replicate. Long-term robotaxis scalability. Simpler hardware means easier global rollout and retrofits. The piece also takes direct aim at NVIDIA's Alpamayo toolkits. While impressive on paper, it lacks Tesla's closed-loop advantage. Forced hardware uniformity across OEMs, massive raw pre-ISP fleet data collection, and bit-exact chip simulation for precise fine-tuning. NVIDIA basically hands over tools and says, good luck productionizing it. Tesla already solved these problems years ago. Many supporters called this post a definitive guide that dismantles every pro-fusion argument. And one reply nailed it. People confuse dependencies on redundancies. Meanwhile, Genma JP points to Xpeng as the only real number 2 contender now. They shifted hard to vision only and closing fast, though still years behind Tesla's data plus compute mode. So my take is this is not hype, it's engineering reality catching up to the memes. Tesla bet on the hardest path, a generalized solution, solving perception with pure intelligence and scale, and it's paying off exponentially. Everyone else is still building sensor fortresses, while Tesla trains digital brain that gets sharper with every mile. The gap isn't closing, it's widening. If you're still on the team LiDAR is essential, read this piece. It might be the last nail in the coffin. Tesla's vision only isn't a limitation. It's the unlock for generalized, scalable autonomy, full stop. And this picture summarized it perfectly. Small brains and big brains.